But yeah, before we get into it, I'll show you what my setup is, what I normally like to do for the takedown. So, main gun I use is a Soul Render, just because it is one of the best assault rifles that you can possibly use, especially on Moze, with the skulls that do splash damage on it. And then we got a crit to take out the giant spear guys they have to shoot, because this takes them out really quickly. And I'm using Terror as well with the shield and grenade combo for increased damage and fire rate and ammo generation. Then a flipper with corrosive and consecutive hits to take out armor on the final boss. And then the main class mod I use is a Rocketeer, and it's mostly just in this takedown, because having Iron Bear just as a turret, being able to just snipe stuff all over the place is such a big help, because there's a lot of mobbing in this entire takedown, and so that's what I'm using. And the weapons I'm using on him are railguns with both chain lightning and the corrosive sabot rounds, just because it's a good mix of corrosive damage, shock damage, and splash damage, because the corrosive rounds do splash damage. And then we got a Pearl. That's pretty much what I use for everything. And yeah, and so since this is a oh, thanks, Tanis. Since this is a longer takedown, I will be having I'll be putting timestamps in the video if you want to see a specific part or boss, and yeah, also show you, like, there's a few fun skips you can do to cut a lot of time out of doing this takedown. So yeah, just this first part, just gotta clear out these guys, but just look at how much damage the Soul Render does, even to enemies on, that have elemental immunities. Because yeah, there's a reason I'm playing on Mayhem 10 as well, and so I can have the Speed Demon bonus, because we need that in order to skip a few parts in this takedown. Yeah, even in another thing with the Soul Render, like you don't even really have to aim, you just fire, because the way the Soul Render works, it's like there's just a chance of skulls flying out every time you fire the gun. And so if you just have it's best to get one with full auto, because it increases your chances of a skull flying out instead of having one in burst fire or single fire. This first part normally takes a while, yeah, just because there's a lot of enemies that pop up in the back.
An Iridian temple. That must be the source of the signal.
You can just skip these guys right here. Not required. And before I forget, I need to re-enable topped off, because I actually need to have it on in order to get my Iron Bear back, especially when I'm charging up crystals.
These Guardians are different somehow. They attacked this planet. What purpose could they have?
So yeah, this is all one take, so hopefully I don't mess up. Because who has time to edit videos? I like to keep things authentic, give you that like 2010 Let's Play vibe. Except I'm not screaming my head off and swearing profusely. Jumped right in front of me.
What's that? Couldn't hear you over all this awesome.
Yeah, even though Guardians are primarily, just all shields, the Soul Render just doesn't care. It just chews through them. is also a non-element one as well. So yeah, like non-element does decent damage to all types of enemies. It doesn't have any positives or negatives. And so this is what I like to do during the crystal charging phases. I put my Iron Bear right on the square, and so he can just snipe everything. And I just sit back, hold the fire button, and yeah, like, oh yeah, these guys use the crit, and they just die like that. Not even gonna try to attempt what they're. Not even gonna try and attempt to pronounce their names because I do not know how to say that. And yep, this is why I keep topped off on. So as soon as the crystal's charged, I can immediately just get back in my Iron Bear and put him down again. Because with the Rocketeer and having 5 points into Stainless Steel Bear, you can have him active just sitting in his auto bear for about like 2 to 3 minutes. Not exactly sure what the actual duration is, but just he just sits here forever and he'll just take everything out. And it's only when we get to the first boss that I'll switch off to a Bear Trooper, because it's better to just use a Bear Trooper instead of a Rocketeer because of the radiation bubbles that he pops up. Oh god, what's his name? Anathema? I think that's his name. Yeah, I don't know whose idea it was to buff the crit, but I appreciate it. Because it's literally one of the best weapons to use on Moze, because since it's a Moxie weapon, it heals you, and so you can just do tons of damage and just keep your shields up all the time. Alright, so we're just gonna slide past these guys. Put Iron Bear right here. You always want to put Iron Bear in a spot where he can just attack from all angles. And I just sit back with the Soul Render, and just homing skulls will just take out everything. You might have to run 1-4 a little bit to spawn these guys. Yep. And yeah, you just gotta be aware of your surroundings at all times in this DLC. DLC. In this takedown. Just so you don't get knocked off the map. Alright, so here is a pretty popular skip that is relatively easy to do. And it's easy to pull off on Moze because you'll know when you have max Speed Demon stacks because of oh my god, I'm blanking on names right now, but yeah, you just get max stacks of Speed Demon and then you can just jump this entire area, because normally you have to jump down and clear out all the mobs. Alright, it's bothering me that I don't remember the name of that skill. I'm gonna check real quick once I get here. Yeah, and if you don't jump, you might not make it here, so just be wary of that. My god, what is that skill called? Yes, Drowning in Brass, thank you. So, yeah, when you have 3 stacks of Drowning in Brass, you know you have 3 stacks of Speed Demon. That's what I was trying to say, but I was stumbling over my words. And nothing good in there. I've been trying to get a one-shotter shield for the longest time. I only have one at level 53. Right, nothing there. Alright, so for this boss, I switch off to a Bear Trooper. And you might be wondering, like, why do you use a bear trooper instead of a flare? Well, with a bear trooper, I can pretty much stay in Iron Bear for the entire fight instead of using a flare, where I can just do a lot of damage, like just a lot of damage to the boss, but then I have to jump out. And then I switch to a gun with this anointment on, so as long as I'm holding this gun before I jump in Iron Bear, I'll do 100% more railgun damage for the entire duration. Alright, fingers crossed the Dazed and Infused Mayhem modifier doesn't screw me over. Alright, good. Doesn't have any immunities. And his weak spots are the red part on his blade. And the thing you can do is just stay out of the bubble, and you can stay on the platform. But you have to keep him in like a corner of the arena, or else you'll have to actually move. And yeah, see, even with a bear trooper on, I'm still doing plenty of damage, just because of the anointment on my gun. So I just did 80 million shock damage to that Guardian. Oh, yeah, see, now I have to jump off because he's centralized in the arena, and I won't be able to hide in the corner. But all I do is just, as soon as the bubble pops, just jump back, and he won't teleport. So yeah, like, unfortunately this boss is like pretty trivial. He doesn't really do a whole lot. It's just a lot of jumping back and forth. And don't think they really, when they were designing this boss, I don't think they really intended people to... They wanted this boss to be like, you know, you're constantly moving around, jumping from platform to platform, but you can just keep on jumping back to the same platform and being able to wail on him as soon as he pops his bubble. So yeah, he's pretty much almost dead, and I still have like a quarter of Iron Bear duration left. And you want to get like a few kills every now and again, so you can get a little bit of duration back. There we go. So a trick you can do with Iron Bear's Chain Lightning is it's like a same sort of trick with Brainstormer or the Reflex. Oh, I messed up. I got a little too close to the platform. What I was trying to say was you just get as close as you can to him, because the Chain Lightning will chain off of you and then back to him and then back to you and then back to him, so it just, the damage stacks ridiculously fast. But it's okay, we don't really need Iron Bear, we have our Plasma Coil. And there's a bug too if you die in Iron Bear while he kills you, because as you can see in the bottom right, I don't have Iron Bear anymore, he's just gone. You just have to go back in the menu, and there it is again. There we go, that was Anathema. Hopefully I get a light speed. I already have one without anointment. There's a Chaos. No, Wagon Wheel. And a Super Ball. Yeah, not a lot here. Alright, now we're going to switch back to the Rocketeer. And this is what we're going to use for the entire rest of the takedown. Where's my gun? There it is. pretty soon. Like, I've worn glasses, like prescription glasses, for pretty much my entire life. Like, I started wearing glasses when I was, I want to say, like 6 or 7, and now I'm 25 and I'm sick of wearing glasses, so I'm wanting to get LASIK eye surgery to change that. So hopefully I don't need to wear glasses anymore. But okay, here's the second skip. So what we're gonna do is I'm popping down Iron Bear right there so he can start getting some kills. And as soon as I see I have 3 stacks of Drowning in Brass, I have max stacks of Speed Demon. So we don't have to clear out all the mobs. You just jump to this platform right here. There's a little pathway you can walk on. It looks scary, but if you do this enough times, it's not that bad. You just jump up, and boom, we just skip that entire part of mobbing, and we can immediately do this crystal charging, or second crystal charging phase. And if you're lucky, sometimes enemies just won't spawn since I skipped that entire area. So let's see if that happens. And nope, we got some enemies spawning. So no easy charging phase for us, but it's still pretty easy. It's because I have Iron Bear doing work, just defending me. Yeah, so I was really looking forward to the cartel event coming back until they announced. Yes, it is coming back, but not until June 24th or 25th. It's like, man, it's still so far away. Like the true trials event is nice. Like, it gives people incentive to do the trials event, or the trials missions. But like, the bosses aren't really all that difficult, and they just gave them as much health as a raid boss, if not more. And every boss in the trials have 2 phases, and so you have to just kill them. You have to fully deplete their health bar twice when they have billions of health. So it's like, it's okay if you're trying to farm a specific gun, especially. I think like last week there was like both a sickle and skull masher in the last boss. In fact, that's what he would drop. And then this week you can either get a flipper and something else I forget. But yeah, Maurice's Black Market is probably like the best. It's probably like the best week so far, because he's got the light show in his vending machine, which is like, if not the best pistol in the game. And so yeah, and his vending machine is in this week is in Conrad's hold. Ooh, almost just kicked me off there. I wasn't worried. Alright, and so the third and final, well, it's kind of a skip, because it skips the scary platforming with the moving purple fading in and out platforms. So we're just gonna run in here and plop Iron Bear down on this pillar. Almost. And then when you start seeing the screen shake, Just run up here. And boom, we're on the second platform. So that's pretty fun. But you still have to do this area. And this area is like the biggest, like, hey, screw you, buddy. You're almost at the boss. Well, you're gonna get kicked off. Because that's exactly what this area was designed to be. I'd like to be proven otherwise. Because I've been really unlucky sometimes and have a Revenant spawn in this tiny little area. Alright, now we wait. Oh boy. Have myself a drink of water. Alright. Gotta stay hydrated. Yeah, water check. Are you drinking water? You should drink some water right now. Because we're finally here at the end. Alright, come on, one-shot or shield.
So we may get a reading on whatever's inside.
Nope.
Yes, it's probably a monster of some sort.
What about a grenade with triple sticky? Nope. Okay. And a chest or two can spawn right here. Never knew until I looked through the area before I jumped in here. Alright, just put down Iron Bear right here. Alright, let's see if this guy, or gal, has any damage immunities. No, he doesn't. Oh, wow. I got really lucky this run. And so for his armor phases, I just use a flipper to just burn through his armor.
Step to the wrong ship.
And then you just pop these guys to stun him. Yeah, Scourge is... he's not that bad of a boss. It's just gotta be aware of all the enemies that spawn in. Alright, first phase done. And then I like to put Iron Bear right here. Iron Bear has a good view of everything from this area. Yeah, why am I even reloading? I have like insane ammo regeneration. Just gaming habits. Alright, portal's open. Yeah, you don't have to clear out the entire area. Just enough to open the portal.
Time to open you up.
Get Iron Bear back in his spot. He's doing some really solid damage right now.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I'm waiting for in Borderlands 3 right now is the cartel event to come back, because that's all I need in my life. I miss the cartel event so much. And so what I've been doing in the meantime, I've just had like a backlog of games that I bought but never played. Yeah, we're on this platform. All right. Yeah, there's like 4 different platforms you can teleport to. Because when you're playing in multiplayer, you get teleported to a place by yourself instead of being all together. And so yeah, I finally played through the Sinking City, which is like it's like a Lovecraftian detective game, and it's actually it was pretty interesting. I enjoyed it. Like my only gripe with it was just the endings felt just a bit rushed. Like they could have put a bit more time into the endings, because there's a few different endings in the game, and they all just seem like they just end abruptly with no explanation, or at least like they could have done a lot more, but they ran out of time during development. I don't know. I still enjoyed the game though, and the overall experience. Alright, so now when he's on a shield phase, I can just use the crit to just make him very, very trivial. Especially when I pop these guys. You're just gonna see his health just boop, immediately back into his charging up thing. Because the crit damage is applying to the explosion. So I'm doing a lot of damage. And also hollow point. Alright, and there's that. That's Scourge. And we didn't drop the crit once. Because of its 5% chance to just fall out of your hands. Alright, come on, give me something good.
I have begun research on the nature of high fives, and I will
Pick up all the
personally
money
give
before it
you one
disappears.
as soon as I compile a full report and send it out for
So you've
peer
got a Nova
review.
Burner,
Expected
and
in
some
about
Web
3
Slinger.
years.
This gun got a buff, but it's still not the best. Like, there's much better options. A stopgap, and yeah, it looks like it's it. Yeah, so in conclusion, like, I really enjoy the Guardian Takedown. My only gripe with it is that the bosses just don't drop enough loot, or at least like it just doesn't feel as rewarding, especially with the newest update that changed how world drops work, where like bosses don't drop any world drops anymore, or at least like just very minimal. Both bosses and from chests. So, and like, you know, personally, I thought it was not that great of a change, because even like, yeah, sure, in Mayhem 10, you'd get a lot of like guns that you'll never use, but that's why I enjoyed it, is to just see like a giant shower of orange whenever I kill something. Even though the loot isn't great, it's just nice to see that. But I digress. Anyway, so yeah, that was the Guardian Takedown, and yeah, Iron Bear finally disappeared. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, here's the bear trip if you want to see that again. And yeah, so in the future, yeah, I'm just waiting for the cartel event to come back, and also, yeah, like, I want to try and do other games, so I'll do a poll in the community tab to you know, ask, or like, you know, talk to you about what game I want to play, and then just go from there. Alright, so yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you learned something, and hope you think to yourself that, like, you know, maybe the Guardian Takedown isn't that bad. Alright, so catch you later, guys.